Hello Scorpio, welcome to your reading for the month of March. We are looking at your Plant Ally Spirit card for the Plant Spirit, which is going to help you with the lessons and getting through on what you need to know and working with the natural world around you. So we're looking at the illustrated herbarii from Maya Toll, and let's see what you get. Ooh, Sweet Violet, Inner Sanctum. Interesting, darlings. Interesting, really beautiful card, this one. I like all the butterfly energy, that's interesting for you guys. So let's have this. You can see the bigger book version, so you can get much better. It's very interesting, very interesting. I like Violet. I think it's a very interesting, very love-centric flower. So let's see what she has to say. Sweet, sweet Violet sings of sun and springtime, carpeting meadows and lawns with lush purple petals. But this glorious show is mere flirtation. Her true abundance comes in autumn, when quietly and with little fanfare she shares her secret seed with the earth, setting the stage for next spring's performance. Violet has no trouble separating public from private. She knows both have their place and season. She's the gossiping column socialite who works quietly in a soup kitchen on Wednesdays, knowing life's most important work isn't always done in the public eye. So the reflection here is unwrapping your truth. Ooh, it's going to be a deeply spiritual one for you too. We've had a couple of those already, so don't forget to check out your Moon and Rising as well to see what this is going to come forth. So Violet understands something that most of us have forgotten. It's okay to have a public face that is different from the one we wear in private. In fact, in order to deeply know ourselves, it's necessary. You may think you are being your true authentic self by fully expressing each thought and feeling out into the world and sharing, well, everything. But overexposure will send you and your truth scurrying. Befriend your truth in the quiet dark. Become intimate with its contours and inner dimensions before you carry it out into the light. You learn yourself one truth at a time. Ooh. Interesting. Very, very interesting. What lives in your sacred heart that is yours and yours alone, or shared with those closest to you? Dig past your first answer and maybe your second. Sometimes we protect our inner sanctums even from ourselves. Dig past your answers. What do you wish to show to the world, and what do you hold back? Do you overexpose yourself under the pretext of honesty? It's okay to wear a mask as long as you know who is underneath it. The ritual is to honour your inner sanctum. In Victorian homes, rooms were divided between those who were public and those who were used wholly privately, only by family. In modern times, the distinction between public and private have become broken down, leading us to overshare or overexpose ourselves. Violet whispers, each of us has a sacred heart that needs nurturing and protection. The inner sacred sanctum is like a nursery for our deepest, most authentic self. It is here new truths are born and, when allowed, grow strong, before being armoured in rationality and sent out to the world. Honour the truth being born within you. Create an altar to your inner sanctum, or honour it with words and breath, or a song. Make a promise to hold space within, to grow into your truest self. Each of us has a sacred heart that needs nurturing and protection. I will also mention as a little tidbit here that Violet also used to represent secret love, in terms of it was associated with lesbianism when it wasn't allowed legally in the world. So that kind of Victorian thing happened there as well. They're also often dismissed as weeds, which is horrible because they're gorgeous. I love them. I love them so much. In terms of medicine, there are a number of ways to use violets. They're a soothing herb with a gelatinous consistency. They have antioxidant properties, which means they're a great source of vitamin A and C. And they're also inflammatory, which means they can support the body when dealing with discomfort, pain or swelling. Helpful for coughs, sore throats, that are due to cold, flu and allergy by infusing them into a tincture or a syrup. It is said to be helpful for headaches, to calm nerves and easing emotions. You can, of course, eat them. In magic, they are thought to be used in some of the following ways: spiritual growth, protection, healing, faithfulness, love, and glamour. They can also be associated with psychic abilities, dreams, and visions. So there's sort of two things going on here. The first is the idea of who you present to the world and who you are underneath. And Violet gives you a permission, particularly if maybe it's not as safe, to be a different person in public. And I think this is maybe more and more relevant with the advent of social media. Everybody showcasing every part of their lives to people all over the time, are kind of giving yourself away over and over and over again in small bite-sized pieces until you feel like a huge chunk of you is missing. So there's a return to sort of soul-searching here, that inner sanctum, that safe space. Some of the other energies of the month have talked about boundaries and protection, as well as honouring our inner sacred grove, our inner sacred space, and who we are deep within our own personality. So we really are having to look a little bit more at where we're giving ourselves away. For me, Sweet Violet in the past has been, because of its springtime energy, very hopeful. And it's often very hopeful for the future. Making adjustments for who we are now, and talking about those secret seeds, we don't have to give away our plans for the future to everybody who asks. This may be a time to embrace your secretive side this month of March, planting seeds for the future in silence, not telling everybody the ins and outs of your business until you're ready to discuss it, if you're ready to discuss it. You might find that people are trying to make things go awry for you in March, and that you don't fully trust where some people's intentions are and the energy that they're kind of slumping on top of you. And in that case, you just create a boundary, a wall, a shadow of protection, a glamour almost, to send their energy fizzing in the wrong direction whilst you keep about your good work for the future, for your changes. So there may be elements of that for you this month, of not giving yourself away and creating a vision for the best life, the best version of yourself that you want to see going forward, because you can have it, you can taste it, and spring is coming and those flowers are going to bloom for you. So have a wonderful month, my darlings. If you would like to hear more, you can get a weekly reading on Patreon, and if you would like to have a monthly reading on Patreon, you can find the appropriate tier over there. Don't forget to check out your moon and rising for additional information. Many blessings.